All right, so in this video, how to stay alcohol free. No script necessary for this one because it's one close to my heart. And the reason why it's close to my heart is because I was exactly like you, waking up on the weekends, hungover, thinking, that's it, no more alcohol, I'm done. But there was just one problem. How could I ever stick to this when I couldn't keep a promise to myself? So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get to the point of what I call is no return, where that means you are not tempted to drink anymore and alcohol is completely out of the equation. A little bit of social proof for you. My name's Ben. I am 4.5 years sober. Let me just get comfortable. 4.5 years sober. I quit alcohol and drugs completely without Alcohol Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. And the reason I did this is because I was just fed up of being fed up and I wanted a better life for myself. I've basically got that life for myself now. I've managed to quit a job that I hated, which kept me stuck, earning rubbish money, being in a rubbish environment, which ultimately just made me want to drink again on the weekends because I was trying to escape reality. So I'm going to teach you how you can do the same, how you can completely eliminate alcohol. It doesn't matter if you've tried and failed a million times. This was me. I said it so many times. I said, this time it's going to be different. I'm done. I would let myself down, or I would go out and I would say, okay, I can control my drinking. It'll be different this time. But you know how it goes. It never is. It's never one drink. It's never two drinks. It always leads to something else, sometimes doing drugs, waking up with regret and shame in the morning. So, I'm going to show you. Now, getting to the point of no return basically means you have to get sober for long enough to be able to see that life is better without alcohol. So, congratulations, you know what to do now. Just basically stay sober until you feel like not drinking anymore. But I know, and you know, it's not that simple, so you might want to stick around. Staying alcohol free requires laying the correct foundations. If you're going to build a house on sand, it's not going to stand the test of time and it's going to collapse. So foundations are the core principle on what you build on. But before I get to the foundations, I want to tell you what alcohol is stealing from you, which will get you riled up enough to be able to open your mind to what I'm going to say with the foundations, which is ultimately going to make you change. This is what alcohol is stealing from you. Number one, it's stealing your money. Yeah, that's correct. No one likes being robbed, do they? Definitely not me. I did an equation the other day and it worked out quite astonishing, actually. I used to spend £100 per week on average throughout a year on drinking, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, taxis. That's a minimum. Some weekends I would spend £300, £400, £500. Was basically spending more money than I actually had, going to work, knowing full well I would owe all that money out the following weekend. So it's just basically working for nothing. So no wonder the cycle repeated itself and I was feeling depressed and stuck. You spend £100 a week, easily done. That's £5,200 you're spending in a year. If you've been drinking for a decade, that's going to be £52,000 that you spent in 10 years. If you put that into the stock market, you'd have 10% extra on that as well. I think I worked it out. It was round about £100 per week in the S&P 500 over 10 years. Would give you roughly about £130,000. Now, I know house prices have gone up, but that's probably a very good deposit, or depending on where you live, you could actually buy a home. So that's just one thing that alcohol is stealing from you, stealing your money. Number two, stealing your beauty. Now, there was a study done. I'm not going to bother putting it up in the video because it's going to take too long. You can Google it yourself. But drinking 1 glass of red wine per day will biologically age your skin by 10 years. Now, I am 35. You're probably about the same. The demographic is around this age. You can easily be mistaken for being in your late 20s or early 40s, depending on how you look after your body. Now, there's no surprise that alcohol lowers your collagen production by 30%. So, if you're at that stage now and you're thinking, I'm getting a little bit older, I certainly felt that way when I turned 30. Alcohol is stealing your youth. It's going to age you. It's going to compound over time. You want to stay looking younger for longer. You could be a single man wanting to attract a partner. Nobody likes a cracked up face. Nobody likes baggy eyes, puffiness, fine lines. Quit alcohol and I promise you your skin will improve in as little as 30 days. Number 3, if number 1 and number 2 hasn't annoyed you enough, number 3 is alcohol is stealing your time. Now, you're probably watching this channel because you're a little bit fed up of where you are in life. You are probably not hitting your expectations of where you thought you would be, and you're probably frustrated thinking, how am I going to get that house that I want? How am I going to get that car that I want? Why don't I have that body? I really wish I could be able to attract that woman into my life. Well, time is being stolen from you. To be good at anything in life or to achieve anything worthwhile in life, it takes time. I worked it out the other day. If you're 35, the average expectancy for a male is 75. So you have just over 2,000 weekends left if you're 35. If you drink 2 weekends out of 4, that means you will only have 1,000 weekends left of your life. The reason why I'm highlighting weekends is because weekends are the only actual free time that we don't have when we're in work. So if you want to learn a new skill, build a business, start a hobby, whatever you want to do, the weekends are probably the time when you're going to be the most productive, have the most energy, and have the most focus. The way the society is, we need to work 6 days a week, so you're going to have that time down even more. So just think to yourself, do I really want to spend 50% of my free time left on this planet hungover? For me, the answer was no, so alcohol had to go. If you're enjoying this video so far, guys, please like, comment and subscribe. It helps me make more videos. And also, if you're sober curious and you're thinking, okay, I want to quit drinking now, I've left a link for my 7-day video course. It's 22 modules long, bite size, has 4.5 years of knowledge of sobriety, all condensed into one course. Now let's talk about laying the foundations, which are ultimately going to be able to make you go a long enough period of time seeing the benefits of being alcohol free, which is going to put you at the point of no return. Now this is based on my own experience, and the reason why this is so valuable is because I am 4.5 years sober. So it's not as if I've just taken a break for a year or a month. Like, this is my life now. This is how I operate. I was fortunate enough to decide one day that I was going to leave the United Kingdom. I was living in a city in Wales where there was not much to do apart from work Monday to Friday and then go to the pub on a Friday night, drink and take drugs. Ultimately, I put myself in an environment and around people which made it hard for me to do anything else. Now, it wasn't these people's fault, and you have to take full accountability. It's your choice, whatever you do. But surrounding people and places which are going to pull you into negative habits is going to make it even harder for you to quit. So I left England, I left Wales, and I moved to Australia. After just under 1 year of being in Australia, I decided I was going to quit alcohol. I was on a bender one weekend, and I don't know why that bender was so significant, but I just literally just cracked and just said, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore. The reason being is because when I first got to Australia, I was away from people and places which were easy for me to drink. Although I did drink, it wasn't as easy for me to go and do the things I was doing before. What I've come to realize is quitting alcohol for good comes down to the people you spend the most time with, the environment that you put yourself in, the city that you live in, the country that you live in. It all dictates what you ultimately do. When I moved to Australia, I was basically exposed to the riches of Sydney, and that ultimately expanded my mindset, forcing me to level up or be left behind. Now, the reason life setup is so important and why it is the foundations on which you're going to build your new life on is because you're going to be known for who you are in the place that you live, for the things that you've done and the things that they expect you to do. I personally think quitting alcohol, living in the same place that you live, is a very difficult thing to do. It's not impossible, but for me, it was certainly hard to get away from it when I was living in my hometown. So my advice would be to you, if you are living in a place which you can't get away from because you've got commitments, you've got a house or you've got a kid, is you're going to have to make the difficult decision to cut the people out in your life which are bad for you. And you know this is true because you know when you see certain people, you're tempted to drink, and then that's when you do drink. So you need to make the decision, do you want to get the life that you want, or do you just want to just settle for the life that you've got, never reach your full potential, destroy your body, look older, and just get more miserable as you get older? So that's what I'm going to leave you with. You need to lay the proper, correct foundations, and you need to realize that alcohol is actually stealing from you. So when you can actually get your head around when you quit, you're not actually losing anything. You're actually gaining your youth, you're gaining money, you're gaining more time. It's a lot easier to quit. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.